Hey, this is Luis.
And this is Luis, and we are the founders of BIZBROS.
This episode was recorded at a PodMax Propelify virtual event. And if you don't know, Propelify is an amazing event that will take place virtually from October 5th to October 9th, and it's also their 5th annual event.
Propelify historically has gathered over 8,000 people in Hoboken for a single day of talks, tech, pitches, drones, and more. This year, it's a 5-day virtual experience which will have investors speed dating, the Clean Tech Impact Challenge with a $50,000 prize awarded, talks from guests like Al Roker, Andrew Yang, and New Jersey First Lady Tammy Murphy, and tons of networking opportunities.
So, without further ado, let's jump into this special episode with a guest from PodMax and a sponsor of Propelify.
We've got some
Hey, I'm Luis.
And I'm Luis.
And you're listening to the Content is Profit podcast.
We spent the last 4 years learning the strategies and techniques from some of the top marketers in the world on how to create content that turns into profit.
If you'd like to learn more on how to turn that content into profit, go to contentisprofit.com. There's a small surprise in there for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And not only that, but there's a surprise for you right here in today's episode.
Baby.
We have two incredible entrepreneurs that they are innovating in the technology space, and we are so excited
can't
to
wait.
share their story, their message, everything that they're doing.
Yes, and if you're listening now, right, you've probably seen the last 4 episodes. They're being a little bit tech related. It's like a little bonus. We partner with PodMax and Propelify to bring you guys amazing guests with a new perspective. This has been a new and exciting experience for us, and we can't wait to bring you the 5th episode of this amazing saga. Oh man,
That is
can't
right.
wait.
That is right, guys. Don't forget to follow at BIZBROSCO on Instagram, on Facebook, and if you find this episode impactful, please don't forget to share it, share the love, and give a 5-star review. Thank you.
That's right. So we have another episode in our hands. Like I said before, we partner with PodMax and Propelify to share the stories of some of the innovators that are shaping the future, people that are taking ideas and making them a reality. These stories are meant to inspire you to take action and build an epic future.
That is right. That is right. And today's guest, they have an amazing superpower, right? They come up with amazing strategies, and even better, they execute on them. I
Fonzie,
wish
you need this. You need this.
Yeah,
well, I need
wish
it too.
every
Yes.
entrepreneur would execute on the ideas and strategies they have.
Woo,
But
baby.
not only that, one of them comes from the games industry. He actually shared that he used to, like all these fun games that we all love, but now he's putting those efforts into solving real world problems.
Oh, they are incredible technical. And their goal is to guide people in the right direction so they don't have to experience what they have gone through. I can't wait to dive into this story because I feel like every entrepreneur out there has some element of this, and we can't wait to present their amazing solution. So they actually have the same last name, but they are not brothers. Not
I
like
know.
us.
How cool is that,
Ha,
right? Because we have a 2v2 today.
Yes.
2 people with the same name right here, but we're brothers. And on the other side, we have 2 other people with the same name, but they are not brothers.
Yes, but more on that in just a little bit. So the name of the company is Hureka Technologies. Please welcome
Rupa Gupta and Bye Gupta.
Let's go.
Welcome, guys.
How's
Hi,
it,
FONZI.
how's it going, guys?
Good afternoon. How is it going on for you?
Pretty good. We
Amazing.
are extremely excited that you guys are here. We did a little bit of our research, look on your page, look what you guys are doing, and we love it. But not only that, what you guys shared before we actually started the podcast with us, I'm like, these guys have a real special message that they want to share with everybody. So I am grateful that you guys are here today.
Sweet, guys. So let's start. For those who don't know you, who are you guys? How do you guys meet? Like all these things about the story and the things that you guys lived through, and now this solution that you guys are bringing to market. Oh my goodness! Like how did that start?
I'm gonna let Rupa take this one. And Rupa, you're on mute.
I think it's good.
So
No, he's mute.
We good.
So this is a story which is started, the saga of Hureka technology started way back when I moved to US. And then I realized, what is the startup community all about? How collaborative they are, what support they have. And then it struck me around 2006 that if I can help the students to get out into the market with the ideas and not fall through, as I had to go through with my own robot story, which I built a vacuum robot that can actually vacuum your house. And I did not went ahead with it because I was not sure what's a startup, what's a fundraise, how can you even take a product to the market? You're not taught these things in a college. And that was the idea of Hureka at that time, to help people with ideas to take their product and bring it out in the market. And with that idea, we named it as Eureka instead of Eureka, which is by our committees that I found it. We said we built it and we called it Hureka Technologies. And meeting with Vaibhav was the most coincidental thing you can have in the world. It was just out of the world. We share the same last name. We are not brothers. We are not related, but we share a bond in a short period that is not even brothers can have it together. I can say that. VG, your point.
That's amazing. And I want to highlight this because I love it. Like, I come from the business side of things, like business school, and, you know, went through college. But at the same time, I had this little bug with entrepreneurship when I first started. And I went into this entrepreneurship minor, which happened to be like my favorite thing in college. It was like 2 semesters at the end. And we ended up going to these like amazing conferences where people were actually pitching their ideas, right? And there's always like, I always had the fear of like, man, like if I put my idea out to the world just to like get some stuff, like somebody's going to take it, right? And now today we know it's all about the execution, but at the same time, it's really intimidating for a student, somebody that's new, that has no idea how to navigate these things. And I probably would have been a subscriber of your service, no brainer, because I was like trying to find all this solution on how to build a business, how to go from an idea to a minimal viable product and get it out to the world. And this happened like 5-6 years ago, man. And I where were you guys, man? Where were you? I'm so glad we connected now.
Yeah.
And Luis, that's the same story. Like when I'm an advisor with the Columbia Lang Center, and the students come up and their first question is, what's the tech stack we should follow? There are so many out there. What is the technology platform we should go with?
Yeah.
How much budget we should have for MVP? And is marketing a thing? Yes, it is. But how to go around that? Yes,
amazing. So, Baiba, why don't you tell us a little bit how you met with you know, Rupak? Because, you know, we heard that you come from the gaming industry. We got super excited because, you know, you see all the toys around, and we're like, we love gaming and all that stuff. Well, first off, how do you guys connect? Because it seems like you guys are a pretty solid team, but with very different backgrounds. So I'm very curious to see like how that happened.
Basically, Luis, I started a UX design agency in December with a few friends of mine. And Rupak has another startup of his called Palatable. And Rupak basically came to us for gamification of the platform. And that business relationship just grew. And from that point on, you know, we just bonded. I think we have the same ideals. We believe in relationships coming first, right? We believe in, you know, building with our clients rather than for our clients, right? So our beliefs were very similar, and then so that led to a bond, and then we just realized we were very like-minded people, and so why not just, you know, pool in our resources and work together? And I also needed a good mentor. I found an amazing mentor, and I have not had a sibling all of my life, and I found an elder brother too. And I didn't have to change his name.
That's awesome.
Do people get confused when you guys...
kind words about.
Sorry, go ahead, Rupak.
I said, thanks for those kind words, Vaibhav. I don't deserve it even though.
we should have like a virtual hug right now. Guys, this is a very important question. Do people get confused when you guys go to meeting or book meetings because of your last name? Because it happens every single time with us. They're like, oh man, I thought I was going to meet with like just one. It's 2 of you guys. I'm seeing double now.
It's always the case, right? Everybody's like, I have a meeting with Mr. Gupta. Which one?
That's awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, it actually happened to us. I was, looking at the forms, and then all of a sudden, a second Gupta came in. I was like, wait, are they brothers too? Like, how awesome is this? Very exciting, And I have a few questions, Mr. Rupak. I'm curious, what was those experiences that, kind of like birthed that drive in you into taking action, right? Because you said there was something that happened in your past, your experiences, that you're like, you know what? I want to help people so they don't have to go through all those things. I'm curious, because I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs are going to be able to relate.
So the story starts when I was in high school. I'm brought up by my grandparents, and I was fascinated. And this, I'm talking 1989. And I was very fascinated by robots. I wanted to build my own. So I'm putting it together, something. And in that time, I asked my grandfather, how much can you give me? He said, 1,000 rupees. So he gave me 1,000 rupees and I built something out. And then I needed more money. So he said, okay, go out, make science project for other kids and sell it out. So that's how I built my robot at that time and continued that through my college. Now, when I'm in college, so just the way you have Ivy Leagues over here in the US, you have IITs in India, I used to present my robot, which is, we made it as a platform on which we kept your household vacuum cleaner, and then it will automatically start cleaning your floor. So we made a capacitor sensor, and that capacitor sensor will sense, and it will actually clean your house the way today's miniaturized version of it, which are vacuum robs that are in your house roaming all around, they are cleaning. Yeah. And this, I'm talking 1997.
Wow.
So a company approached me in one of those science exhibitions, and they said, if you can miniaturize it, which was in about 4 lakhs at that time, we will give the patent in your name. And I'm like, I don't have that money. Who cares about patent? And I left it.
Wow.
Fast forward. Now, I came to US and I'm like, holy shit, I left $1 billion worth of product out there and I could have been, which I'm not today. Not because not because I made a mistake, because I was not aware. So that's where the quest of creating awareness, sharing information started. And that's what has led to today's formation of what is known as Hureka technology.
Wow, that's amazing, and I love how you ended that story. I mean, first of all, I'm mind blown.
I got chills.
That you built all that. Yeah, I was like, wow. But I love how you ended talking about awareness, right? Because, I mean, some people, they just, right, they act, everybody, we act in accordance to what we know, right? And sometimes we just need to be exposed to the right piece of information to make a better decision. So I love where this is coming from, and I love that is part of the inspiration of Hureka, right?
So, right. And so as it is said, right, if you don't know, it won't hurt you. That is absolutely not true. The one thing that will hurt you is what you don't know and how to keep that going in the spheres of every arena. So that's where we strive for. We try to make sure people are aware about it. And that is actually the reason why you see Hureka subscriptions. That is where we come in and we say to people, we will give you a team and we will guide you through the process, bringing in all the big things that I learned in Columbia and VG learned in NYU while doing the MBAs and masters, to bring it out to everyone, because everyone cannot afford high-end education, but everyone can afford to have an idea.
Absolutely.
So why they should be left behind all the best things out the world.
Love it. Love it. Vaibhav, like he mentioned, like you went through, your graduate schools and masters. Were you always like this excited about kind of like, I want to call it like entrepreneurship, innovation, creating movements, like executing on ideas? Were you always this passionate?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you a bit of the backstory. I mean, I did my first master's in video game development from Kingston University in London, right? After that, I jumped straight in, worked the classic, I'm going to go work for Sony and PlayStation, and I did the corporate game companies.
Yeah.
It was in theory, it was a great dream job, but then you realize you're a small cog in a big machine, right? I wasn't getting creative freedom. And so around 2015, 2016, I basically broke out of it all. I walked away from it and I said, I want to start my own design studio. Let's go down the indie route, right?
Yeah.
Let's homebrew games. So I partnered with a very close friend of mine and we built our first startup, a company called White Raven Media Solutions. And that was it. You know, the moment I walked away from that corporate, you know, game studio mentality and moved into the indie world, it was just amazing. I had creative freedom.
Yeah.
And then from there, you know, I had a motorcycle crash in 2016, which was, you know, when you're sitting in the hospital for a few months, you have a lot of time to think about, you know, different stuff.
Yeah.
What is my legacy going to be was my question. And I just decided, I don't want my legacy to be zombies for people to kill, right? And so from there on, a random Google search brought up, and I'd also, you know, been looking at education. Education is so outdated today's date, right?
Yeah.
And a big reason why a lot of our countries are failing, whether it's the United Kingdom or India or the US, it's because their education system is dated.
Yeah.
And one way to fix that is by making education intuitive and fun, right?
Yes.
So then I became a part of another startup called Culture Dabba, where we basically were revolutionizing how culture can be taught to, you know, children of immigrant parents, right? Because once, you know, somebody immigrates to another country and raises their children, they're getting, you know, the culture of that country, but they shouldn't lose their roots. So there again, we used games and gamification to, you know, bring in the sort of cultural education. Then from there on, you know, we a few other startups, and then I joined a company called Arcade Distillery, where I led their corporate gamification department, where basically we started using solutions from the game industry to solve real world problems. And so I'm always excited about all of this. The thing here in this journey was this. I came across so many people with incredible ideas, but just that fear, right? That fear of taking that leap into the unknown. Do I know? I don't know technology. Oh my God, what's the point of me trying to, you know, leave my job and go become an entrepreneur? Or, I'm not good at sales and marketing. So what's the point in me investing time and money into this? I met a lot of people like that, and I'd always be that guy who would be like, come on, do it, push it. Can I help? Can somebody help? And that's when I met Rupak. That's why we bond so well. Because his approach was also this. He's been through that startup, being an entrepreneur, that route and that role, right? And people need to take that leap of faith. What if we take your pain points away from you and let you go build your vision to life? And so
I love it.
What brings us together.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible what people can find when they take that leap of faith, right, into the unknown. The growth is absolutely amazing. And you name some really cool things here, right? I love the creative freedom, right? There's a lot of people that they love to stay in their comfort zone. Again, that leap of faith, right? Yeah. And I feel like you get to find creative freedom once you go into the unknown, right? You start seeing new problems. How do you come up with new solutions? Of course, a lot of that is how do we tackle these challenges, which I love, because how does that relate to Hureka, right? I think, and correct me here, but you have entrepreneurs coming to you with challenges. And now through your creative freedom that you guys have gained, I feel like you guys are transferring that to the people that is working with you guys, which I absolutely love. Then you said, what is my legacy?
Ooh,
right?
So good.
I think that is such a deep question that many people do not ask themselves, and they should, right? And I'm curious to know, do the people that actually come to work with Hureka, do they have that? Have they asked themselves that question? And do you guys help them solve that question if they haven't?
FONZI, that's such a nice question, because that is the basic fabric of the culture that we built in. If we have to scale, if we have to take this idea from two of us to a broader level, then we need to make sure that the people we are hiring are having the same value system. So we make sure in our hiring process that we check the value system rather than the skills that they have. That's our priority. Once the value system is a match, then we check out what is the attitude and aptitude towards the unknown. Because in a startup world is always about unknown. Can I step up and be confident that I'll not fall? Or even more important, am I confident that if I fall, I will get up and walk again and then run?
Yeah.
So we take that in our process and we teach them and we inspire our, I call them as family members rather than as a team members, because we are a family. We live together, we cry together, we laugh together. And yes, that is exactly where we are successful, because each of our members share our vision and our strategy, and they are able to transfer it to the clients we work with.
I love it. I love that it goes way beyond a simple transaction, right? And I think that's what makes businesses successful, right? Is building those, those communities and that having that bond between everybody. That's super important.
So I want to highlight here something that you guys said earlier was like education, right? Is so far behind, right? Like we, as people know and people that we listen that listen to us, we're from Venezuela, right? So we're same thing, South America, third world country, beautiful people, beautiful solutions too. But the environment is very complicated to come up with stuff like that, and we have people down there doing work, amazing work, right? And they're going through like all these hurdles. But a big one, a massive one is education, and not only there, but I've noticed it here also in the U.S., right? There's like these massive big institutions, like things that you're learning today, like tomorrow, because of the pace of the technology, pace of things, like people picking up things, it's very, very slow. And then you go out into the workplace and you're so far behind. So, part of that inspired us to start our own platform, like learn through trial and error, which is very valuable to us, right?
And learn through people like you guys, doing it,
I just find that what you guys have in there, like I honestly want a time travel back and call you guys and be like, I need this, because that was a big bug, and that's what led to the agency that we own now. But the amount of headaches that I would have been able to solve just to kind of find out what the path is, right? So my question goes a little bit towards that side of things. Like, how do you guys see education moving forward, right? And for people that want to start their own businesses, their own projects, their own ideas, how can they go over those hurdles a little bit faster, I guess?
The thing I would say when it comes to education is this, right? The first major hurdle I think everybody's having with regards to education is accessibility and intuitivity, right? Whatever you want to learn, it needs to be accessible. Today's date with the internet, a lot of knowledge is accessible, but it's still very intimidating for people, right? Like for me right now, I have a friend who came to me and he said, my son's interested in game design. Can you point him in the right direction?
Yeah.
It's very easy for me to pick up 4 very basic Udemy courses and send it to that person. But the moment I do that, the kid got intimidated because it looks like it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
That's where I say the delivery of education is still flawed, right? It's not intuitive, it's intimidating. And that's where, if we can gamify education, I feel if we can make it a fun experience, because we can learn either directly or on the fly. That's why a lot of people, that's why we have podcasts. We might be driving to work, plug those earphones in, and
Yeah.
So I think education, the thing is accessibility and intuitiveness.
Oh,
Now, that said, the other element is also this. Sometimes you need not learn everything as well. Sometimes it's also good to have a good partner.
Yeah.
Right? When I said I took that leap of faith from the corporate game job to having my own startup, I was comfortable. And when I said I got creative freedom, I got it because the things that intimidated me were the technology. And I had a good partner and somebody that I could rely on for that part. So that's how I had my creative freedom, right? So having a good partner is also important at times. You need not learn everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So having a good partner is important, but equally important is to find a right mentor. And so in today's world, as Vaibhav said, you have such a vast knowledge of information available out there. You have free education all over the place. But which ones to pick? Shall I pick up topic number 1, topic number 4? What is my steps that I can go to the next level? How can I go there? Yeah. So it is equally important to find a mentor. And one of the key things that I have realized in over a period of time is when people are looking for a mentor, they try to look for a person who is right up at the top. Whereas you should look at a person who is just next above level or 2 levels above you so that they can actually help you and guide you. If I am going to go and approach Jeff Bezos to give me a guidance or being looking for him, he's going to give me something which I can't even do or even can't think about. So you got to look for the right mentor and ask the right questions. So one thing that we all are not taught in our education, which we should be taught, is how to ask the right questions, how to keep an open mind and ask the questions that will give us, how not to ask a very direct question which are directed towards answering to you only. And this is what, in fact, entrepreneurship teaches you. Steve Blank teaches you to go and do a customer discovery. And the key goal of customer discovery is how not to ask leading questions. Because if you ask leading questions, you'll be down. So education is as much as about knowing what exists, but it also knowing whom to approach and how to approach. And there are a lot of networks out there right now who help them out. And my appeal always is go out and spread, to go to the mentor networks and choose the mentor for you to go to the next step.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, I think that is this part right here is extremely valuable for any entrepreneur looking to take that leap, right? We come from trying to do everything on our own, and then we realize the power of having someone that can guide you through. And you know, Mr. Rupak, I know we are coming short on time right here because I know you had a hard cutoff. So I want to ask you, is there anything, right, that you want to share with people before you have to hop off?
So one of the key things I'll tell people is family is very important. They are your support system. Do not neglect them. Ride the wave with them and you will go a very long way out. A lot of us think that work is more important, not the family, but learn how to ride with them with your work. And if you are stuck and you need to bounce off any of your ideas, be it technical development or be it digital marketing strategy, you can always come and knock on our doors. We are always available for you at www.hurekatech.com.
Awesome. We're going to leave all the links right below. Guys, like this is such good advice. Like, again, growing up, trying to do this, no one ever told us, keep an eye on your family because there's your support system and they're there. And we thank them every single day, right? And this would have saved hundreds of fights. I promise you. Like, and you have, Vaibhav and Rupak here helping you guys through this process. If you go and go check out Hureka, if this is something that you guys want to do on the startup side of things, this is the kind of things that they're going to walk you through step by step and help you in this journey to get your idea to the next level. Vaibhav, anything you want to add to that?
I would always say this, right? Take that leap of faith. Trust me, it's worth it. Right? If you fall, you'll learn to pick yourself up. I'm quoting Batman quotes right now, but then I'm going to quote one more, which is my favorite. It's not who you are that matters, but it's what you do that defines you. It's so true.
Yeah.
Right?
And I kind of stop myself saying, entrepreneur is a very lonely world. Entrepreneurship is a very, very lonely world. And the way to travel is to enjoy the journey rather than the end product. The more you enjoy the journey, the better the end product will be, and it will be success.
I love it. Guys, we're going to have to hang out more with you.
I know.
I love the mentality. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I want to encourage everybody to, connect with you guys. Like you said, www.hurekatech.com. And I would encourage you to try to, I don't know, if you guys have LinkedIn, if you guys want to connect with people and talk to them. So guys, reach out. They are incredible people. And I mean, you guys just heard it, the way they go about life, entrepreneurship, building business, and helping people with their own business is absolutely amazing. Thank you, guys.
Yes. Bye-bye. Rupak, thank you so much. And with that, guys, thank you for tuning into the Content is Profit podcast. Today was insane, so amazing. Go ahead and subscribe. Content is Profit.
That's right, guys. And don't forget to follow at BIZBROS on Instagram, on Facebook. If you found this episode impactful, don't forget to share it and leave a 5-star review. Thank you.